All right, guys, thanks so much. Yeah, he's a crypto and startup investor. He's overall a very busy guy. He founded crypto exchange Evercoin. We're so thrilled to have Miko Matsumura with us to talk a little bit about the crypto markets in general today and the state of where things might be going. It's great to have you, Miko. We really appreciate your time, and thanks for doing this today.
Sure, no problem.
Let's talk a little bit about DeFi. Everybody's been, you know, it's one of the hottest terms that you hear all over the place at this point. And specifically, I want to, talk a little bit about an internet-based financial system. And, you made some comments talking towards it being not only inevitable, but favorable. And, we should not only be not hesitant to accept this, but maybe looking for ways to participate in an internet-based financial system. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've been working on open source software for decades here in Silicon Valley. And, the thing that I think is amazing, Mark Andreessen from Andreessen Horowitz, famous venture capitalist, said that software is eating the world. So the thing that's interesting is open source software is free software. And so the thing that I think has always been the case is free software has always been inevitable. So, as far as why it becomes so powerful is, first of all, of course, it's free. But second of all, and importantly, it competes for users. It competes for consent of developers and users, right? And historically, it's competed with software that you pay for, right? So it's really hardened software. It gets better and better all the time. And if at any time you don't like anything, just wait and developers will fix it. So, I think it is inevitable, and I think it's going to be a better alternative to the traditional financial system.
If viewers are sitting here saying, okay, what exactly does this mean? What exactly is it that we're talking about? And how can I get involved if there's interest there? What do we need to know exactly about something going from, a traditional system as we have now to a decentralized financial system as DeFi is known, right?
Yeah. So the thing that's really interesting is that there are several properties of decentralized finance that are extremely important. So one of them is automation. So generally, there are these smart contracts, and smart contracts really run the decentralized finance ecosystem. So the thing that's very important to understand is it's software, right? And it actually is mostly automated. And so the thing that's great about automation is that automation has properties of being reliable. But in addition to being largely automated, and of course you have to be careful, because if if someone says something is DeFi, you should probably understand what it is, because people can say anything is DeFi, they can say anything is anything's, right? So be careful when you look at something. But if you understand something to be automated, the other thing that the properties that you expect from a decentralized financial system is transparency. So not only is the source code of the software transparent and you can read it, but the data, so-called on-chain data, is readable by everyone, right? So for example, if you have a financial system that includes things like lending, you actually understand things like the collateralization. So it's transparent in a way that traditional finance has been intransparent. So in a sense, the automation, the reliability, the transparency, the open source, these are all reasons to improve and increase on traditional systems as far as trust. So when you think about automation, the best way to think about these financial services is as like a vending machine. So a vending machine, basically you put in some currency, you get out some value. Very similar ideas. There are vending machines for different kinds of tokens. There are, of course, what I call lending machines, which are like vending machines, but you deposit money and you borrow and you've collateralized yourself. And the thing that's amazing about these things too is that if you default, liquidation's automatic, right? So it's all automated. It's a very, very powerful and very transparent system.
Miko Matsumura is general partner at Gumi Crypto's Capital, here to talk a little bit about the crypto markets in general. And I want to take a second here, Miko, and discuss a little bit about if somebody has been sitting on the sidelines for, the past 10, 20 years when it comes to the crypto markets a little bit, and have now gotten to a point where, they're sick of hearing everyone talking about this, and they're sick of, not being involved, what would be the best way, in your advice, to maybe get started if you wanted to right now in the crypto markets?
Sure. So I feel like if you're a retail investor, then I think start very small, but start. I think the first thing that you should understand is you're not late. This is like the birth of the internet. It is a very substantial innovation, and we're actually in a multi-year cycle. So it's been, 12, 13, 14 years since, the beginning of Bitcoin, but we still have many years to go, and we have lots of value to create, right? So I think that's important to understand. I would definitely concentrate on the bigs. So obviously Bitcoin is very big, Ethereum is very big, right? And so you should concentrate on those. I also think that, if you start very small, I have a suggestion called Grand Canyon money, which is, imagine you're at the edge of the Grand Canyon, you throw money in. How much money was that, right? So, however much that was, you can use that as a benchmark for how much you should use to get started, right? Because these systems do behave a little bit differently from what most people are used to. And so you should get used to that before you over allocate.
Everybody is looking for a place to do so. Let's talk a little bit about Celsius Network, a platform to not only get involved with cryptos, but also learn a little bit as well.
Yeah, so I'm an advisor to Celsius Network, just full disclosure. And, what I think is so interesting is that Celsius, the experience of Celsius is basically proof that we've built a better financial system. You can put in, some amount. There's actually the highest yields are based on stable coins. So, for example, coins that are pegged to the US dollar, like USDC, and you can get interest rates that are annualized to around 8+% or more. And so this really is amazing that this system produces these kinds of yields. And, so obviously if you go to traditional banking, you're not going to see yields anywhere close to that, right? So for me, one of the no-brainers is you can go to a Celsius.network and you can basically put in a small amount just to see what happens, and if you're just getting started in crypto, don't go overboard, but learn and learn by doing. Don't sit on the sidelines. I think obviously the time in the market beats timing the market. So if you get in and stay in, that will be the most favorable for you, and allocate amounts that are reasonable for your current situation.
It's a fascinating time in general for crypto markets, and a fascinating time for this topic. Miko Matsumura, we appreciate your time today, and we look forward to an update in the future.
Great. Thank you very much.
There we go, guys. A little bit of a look at some different ways that you can not only get involved if you're not, but a little bit on DeFi there as well.